we show, look, brothers, this is what it says, because it goes right along with what the scriptures are saying. And that's it. So it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and the spirit it hath gathered them. All right, so going back to this right here, it says, since Strong's Concordance identifies the original words in Hebrew and Greek, Strong's numbers are sometimes misinterpreted by those without adequate training to change the Bible from its accurate meaning simply by taking the words out of cultural context. And these guys, even that put this this Strong's Concordance together, they went off. They went totally off on certain things. You know, certain things they're on point on, other things they went off. Whether they did it on purpose or not, you know, we don't know. But for the most part, we believe they did it on purpose, because when the so-called white man came in into power, his main thing was to suppress the truth. You know, so that's what they did. They suppressed the truth. It says the use of Strong's numbers does not consider figures of speech, metaphors, idioms, common phrases, cultural references, references to historical events, or alternate meanings used by those of the time period to express their thoughts in their own language at the time. So, because what did it say in the prologue to the book of Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, that things which are translated out of the Hebrew tongue and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. All right. So these people be going off. All right. It says, and such professionals and amateurs alike must consult a number of contextual tools to reconstruct these cultural backgrounds, many scholarly Greek and Hebrew lexicons, so on and so forth. But that's the main point, that these people, they really, when they put this together, they just put it together as a reference. They didn't put it together as a commentary on the Bible, or the supreme breakdown of all these different words. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to get started, and like we were mentioning before, there's different letters for each word that they have. They have like a number next to it, you know, and each word has its own word, own number. Like I was mentioning the word red, or Edom, or Adam, and you'll see different numbers. All right. So what I want to do is before I get started, I'm gonna hit Genesis 25 and 25, because you have this asswipe, false prophet 666, that said that Genesis 25, the word that's used there is the same word that's used in the book of 1 Samuel when it's used to describe King David as ruddy. All right, which the same word is there, but we're going to get some understanding on it, which the brother Karatazar already went over it anyway. So this is Genesis 25 and 25. Right, it says, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right, so he came out red. Right, now when you come down here and you look up the word red, what do you have there? Adamanya. All right, so it says red, ruddy, of Esau as infant. So they remember they added this ruddy, because the term ruddy does not mean red like the so-called white man. And we're gonna keep going into it to show you. Now, when you look in the Hebrew, right? This is the Hebrew text here. Here in the Hebrew text, it says Adamawanya, but then when they wrote it down over here in the Hebrew over here, they put Adamanya. You know, so sometimes they drop certain letters. They drop certain, because in the Hebrew, sometimes when you create a phrase, sometimes you drop certain letters, sometimes you add certain letters, depending on the text, or depending on the whether if it's past, present, or future. All right. So now that we saw that's the word Adamawanya there, which was red. Now let's go to the book of 1 Samuel. All right, we're gonna go to the book of 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, and to show you that they do have the same word there. All right, 1 Samuel 16 and 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy. This is talking about King David. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. Now let's go scroll down and look up the word ruddy. Right here, the word ruddy, they have what? Adamanya. Right? Red, ruddy, of Esau as infant. Right? Going back. All right, now when you go to the actual Hebrew again, and you look for the word ruddy in here, once again, adamawanya. All right, and that's the same word that you saw in Genesis, the 25th chapter and the 25th verse. Now, why is the same word there? Like the brother Karatazar brought out, that was the only word that they had to describe somebody that was light skinned, and I'm gonna prove that to you. Now, I don't know if the brother brought this source out. I mean, I did watch the whole series, but I didn't notice if he brought this out or not. But this is from the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, right? The Compact Bible Dictionary. Now, when you look up the word ruddy on page 510, it says ruddy, a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion, in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. So they're letting you know that this word red was a contrast, or this word ruddy was a contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrew. So what does that mean? It says a word used to refer to red, which is Esau's color, Adawam, or fair complexion, which they use the word ruddy for King David because he was a light-skinned Jake. All right. So it says a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion. So you can use it either or. It's alternate. You can alternate it. Why? Because those colors were different from the dark skin of the Hebrew, as we're going to read on down, and it says it. A word used to refer to a red or fair complexion in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. And then it gives you 1 Samuel 16 and 12, which we just read, which is talking about King David. 1 Samuel 17 and 42, which is also dealing with King David. Right, and then when you read there in the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, where it uses the word Songs of Solomon 5 and 10, they went off on that. All right, they don't really know what that means. They're trying to add it in there as a different, they're trying to put a different spin to it. All right, but for the most part, that definition was on point. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you some examples. Now I'm gonna go to the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, and the 30th verse. Let me roll up here real quick. Genesis 25, and I want to show you something. All right. All right, this is Genesis 25 and 30. It says, "And Esau," I start at 29. "And Jacob sawed pottage, which was red, which had raw meat in it. And Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom." Now let's go to the Hebrew. And he says, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage." All right. Therefore was his name called Edom. Now here, when you see the word red, you have the number 122. And the number 122 here says Adam, right? Red, ruddy, of man, horse, heifer, garment, water, lentils. But see here, they bunch it all